All right, this video is going to be on how to check students' work, see when they turned it in, maybe how many times they turned it in, things like that. So I'm going to go in here again, and I'm going to do this one more time so it gives you kind of like a difference. So that way we can see some other things. All right, so now to check, you can do probably one of the things you want to do is go into grades, and we're going to go into SpeedGrader. So there's two ways to get into it. This is one way. So if you go to grades and you see this, you just click in here, and then a arrow will appear over here. You click on that, and it brings up your student, and you want to click SpeedGrader. Now, it is going to automatically mark if something's late if it goes past the due date, and it will be in blue. So when we're in here, this is where it's going to tell you all the information on when things were submitted, their answers, what they got, everything is going to be under here, all your details. So, for example, here, I got a score of 10 out of 10. Submitted today, September. No, wait, is this the first one? This is the first one. Why does it still? It's definitely October. Okay, well, normally this should say October. Point being, though, it'll say the date. This is a demo class, so it's probably glitchy. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, so here is your date. It tells you also how long it took. If you scroll through, it shows you their answer choices. This is also where you can change this. So if I looked at it, let's say it was a fill in the blank and they made a typo and I was like, okay, that's all right. You can change this here. So you can like do 2 and then I can hit update score and it will change the score on that. So you can count something right. If you want to see an earlier submission, yeah. So it will tell you this is not the most recent submission. If it's the later one. And again, it'll tell you up here, score 9 out of 10, submitted, took less than a minute, of course, because I know what I'm doing. Here's also where you can add a comment if you wanted to. So let's say it's not a big deal when you're looking at multiple choice, but let's say you put, I don't know, it's an assignment where it's more of a project and you want to put feedback in here. So this is where you can add your feedback. So you can put in many run-on sentences, no spaces after periods, check your grammar, and you can get kind of detailed there. Now you can also, I don't think it's up here, it's if you have an assignment. So let me just submit that real quick. So let's say I have an assignment. So if I do, all right, if this is a project, so, okay. So right now, I'm not going to probably be able to do this the way I want to do it, because I'd need to have a submission. But if I go in here, and then SpeedGrader. And let's say there is a submission in here, then I would be able, there are options up here where you can click and you can actually click in the document and add your comments. So that's helpful for if you've got a draft or something like that. So that's there. The other way to get to SpeedGrader is by going into the assignment. Go into the assignment, and on the right-hand side, it'll say over here, SpeedGrader. You can go into it. When you are up in here, you can also, it sometimes has your classes divided up, so you can go in per class and narrow it down. So you can do that. The other thing that was in there, you can also use, sometimes quiz statistics are kind of helpful, especially if you're giving a test or quiz. In here, you can kind of see, all right, overall, and then underneath, it'll tell you each question, and it'll tell you, hey, this is the most missed. It'll give you the statistics of that item. So that can be helpful if you're looking at test data, and then you can compare if you wanted to. So that is one way to tell. Just note that a computer, it doesn't make decisions. A lot of students will be like, I turned that in, or I turned that in at a certain time, or whatever. A computer does not sit there and change the time. It does not say, oh, yeah, you turned it in like 3 days late. It doesn't do that. That's not how that works. So if students are telling you, I did such and such, there might be a glitch during their internet if they're uploading something. But they should be checking it anyway. So if I go under grades, right, and I'm putting in a submission, they should be checking that theirs is in here. They should be checking that there's a score. They should be checking that there's a spot there. So if theirs does not have something, they need to be looking at this stuff. You might want to tell them repeatedly to check on your grades every day, have them go under there so that they're looking at this, because computers don't decide. They just record, they take it, that's it. I've had a few students that try to say whatever, or I got this and this right, and I can pull it up and I see, no, you didn't. You answered this and this. And that's just how it is. So it is helpful to have that ability to go in there and look at all this stuff. And it records the date and time, and that's it. Again, it doesn't make decisions. It just records the time. All right, so hopefully that's helpful for anybody who needs to look at times and things that are turned in and so forth.